I don't like being scared.
My dad really got into special effects when he was a teenager. And his dream, before I came along, was to go to California, Los Angeles, and work in the film industry as a special effects. And then we've helped with other haunted attractions in the area. And finally, about 2002, he and my mother started seeking out property. And right now, we have our Shadow Box. It's a walk-through haunted attraction.
Okay.
That's evolved over the years. And then our dark ride. We have a walk-on, and they load under the Scarriage, and they take that mile-long journey. It may be your only way home. I've grown up with the special effects, but Halloween's not my favorite holiday.
Whoa, 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 clear out the room, I'm coming through, they wanna see what I'm about.
And that's the name, you know?
Drill, I'm on a paper route. Extra,
You gonna hook me up? Okay.
Today's trying to top it. I put commas over bullshit. Yeah, I put that on mamas. They trying to block all my blessings.
Hey, welcome back to the People of Oklahoma podcast, where I talk to very interesting people that live here in Oklahoma. And the person we have on the podcast today scares people for a living. They actually terrify people. And the person we have on today is Victoria Hatch, the co-owner of Psychopath Haunted Attractions. Welcome on the podcast. Welcome on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, so here's the thing, Victoria. I actually do not like haunted houses.
That's fair.
I'm not. I don't like being scared at all. Like, it's just not one of my things I like to do. But I think it's very interesting, and I like to learn more about it. Do you like haunted stuff?
Well, you know, I've grown up with the special effects, but Halloween's not my favorite holiday. I mean,
really?
I will decorate because I like the little cute pumpkins and
Yeah.
like
You
cute
like the cute
scarecrows.
stuff.
I like the cute stuff. But to go to a haunted attraction, honestly, is not something that I would choose to do as like form of entertainment, really.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for my family owning this, I probably wouldn't be there. So
how did all this kind of transpire? Like,
So my father is Victor Marquez and my mother Suzette. My dad really got into special effects when he was a teenager. He watched Star Wars in the 70s and loved it and decided, I'm going to build a diorama, a miniature diorama of the Star Wars, the whole scenes and all of that. And he really got interested in that. And then he got interested in the special effects side of it, the makeup side of it. And he wanted to learn everything he could about making masks and sculpting and all of that. So he did a course through the mail, Dick Smith course, and learned all of the techniques and how to do all of this, and used family members, his brother, my mother, and even us when we were children. And I mean, I had vampire teeth made when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So weird, strange things. But he would take the person, cast their face up, make a hard plaster of them, be sculpting with clay, and pour masks with foam latex. And his dream, before I came along, was to go to California, Los Angeles, and work in the film industry as a special effects artist.
Really?
But family came along, family obligations, which held him to Oklahoma. And so that's kind of where the background of his story came from. And then several years later, he helped through independent films in Oklahoma.
Okay.
They needed makeup artists, special effects. He's done a lot of those for different. I remember one in Muskogee that we went to, sat on set for hours while he, did his makeup thing, made sure that everything looked good. And then we've helped with other haunted attractions in the area. And finally, about 2002, he and my mother started seeking out property out near Sperry, Collinsville area, Owasso area, somewhere out there.
Yeah.
And found our property that we own now. And this was his outlet to be able to do his special effects in Oklahoma. This is before the film industry in Oklahoma really ramped up. Now we have so much going on here.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
Has he worked on anything recently?
He has done a few things with our makeup artist at Psychopath. Is a union artist, makeup artist. So she calls him and says, "Hey, I need some help. Come be my assistant today." So he's done that a few times. But yes, Psychopath was his dream to be able to fulfill that passion of special effects. And so he and my mother bought the property, and that's where it all started.
So did he live in Sperry?
Collinsville.
Oh, you guys live in Collinsville?
Pretty close. But the land in our area is a flood zone. So it was reasonably priced. And we're between two creeks, Hominy Creek and Bird Creek. And so we're an island basically out there.
Okay.
So you have to cross bridges no matter which direction you come to get to us. And so we are in a floodplain. And so that's why it was a cheaper property to purchase.
How many acres you guys got out there?
It was 20 acres when they first purchased it. And then later the property to the west of them became available all the way to the end of the corner of the street. And they went ahead and purchased that. So it totals 40 acres.
40 acres. Do you guys use all 40 acres or?
We use most of it.
Yeah.
There are some to the west that we do not use. We used to have it for our paintball, and we did away with that, and so now we're not using that portion of it. But that doesn't mean.
Do you guys still have paintball out there?
Not right now.
No, not right now. Okay. Oh, interesting. Man, so like when your dad was growing up, got into Star Wars and all that good stuff. Like, did he have a thing about Halloween? Did he like scary stuff?
He liked Halloween, so. He always went out and they would go to costume contests. He'd take my mother and get her dressed up. Or one time they did Planet of the Apes and he created a whole Planet of the Apes masks. And she wore it to school. She taught school. And so they've done things like that. It's funny because we kind of laugh because their wedding anniversary is Friday, September 13th. So they got married on Friday the 13th even. So so it's kind of a neat thing with them. So yeah, it's kind of their thing.
So how old were you when Psychopath started?
Oh, you're going to age me now, huh?
Yeah, I guess I should have thought about that question better.
It's okay. No. So we opened our doors to the public in 2005. We purchased the property in 2003.
Okay, so you purchased the property in 2003 and then 2 years to kind of set everything up and do all that.
In 2005, I was 24, 25, somewhere around there. So I've been involved. I was an adult. I was not a child.
Okay,
I've been involved every step of the way. I've always been in charge of the ticket office out there, the customer relations, public relations, anything like that.
So is this what your family does full time, or does your dad have a full?
He has a day job.
Oh, he
that
does.
He owns.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, and now I'm gonna be honest with you because I'm sure that our viewers probably want to know the ins and outs and a little bit of what is this about and why do you do this, and this must make a lot of money because we have a lot of people come up and say, oh wow, $40 a ticket, you guys must be rolling in the dough. I'm going to tell you right now, my parents have not made a profit on Psychopath in 20 years. What? They pull money from his other business, from their personal finances to fund it each year. So we have to replace that each year. Like we have to go back. And so he doesn't see any kind of, everything goes into marketing, paying the actors. We're talking porta potty, security, from everything, the nails, the screws, everything you can think of that would go into building something like this.
He really
everything
loves
goes back.
this.
Yes. So that's the thing is it's a passion, and we say it's an expensive hobby.
Wow. So is it okay if I ask how old your dad is?
Ooh, how old is he? 64-ish, 65, somewhere. I don't know, maybe 66.
Man,
he's born in 58.
Does he like
do the math?
Does he get like all giddy every time it starts getting that time of year to do it again?
Well, I will say that he gets giddy more in February, March, April. And then he's very stressed out right now.
Oh, okay. So
this is the time from maybe August to now that it's crunch time, and we're like, it is stress. We got to get this done. We got to get open. We're, get where we need to be.
So he enjoys the process. He
does sometimes. He doesn't get to do the makeup like he thought he would. That's kind of a twist. You think, oh, great. This is his outlet. He's doing what he wants to do. He thought he was going to get to make masks and do all of this. Very rarely he gets to go in and make any kind of creature masks. He's out building sets. He's doing construction, painting, and things like that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So the process starts in, would you say August?
So
or you said March?
Our season is over first weekend in November, and we take a couple weeks to go out. We have to clean up everything. We are outdoors. It's 40 acres. So all of our fog machines, our show controllers, our lights, all those types of things, any props that we can't leave outside, they'll have to come inside. So we have to clean up. We call it our cleanup time. And after that's done, about mid-November, we take a break probably until mid-January.
Okay.
So maybe a 2-month break for the holidays and winter time. And then we get back into planning, and we might start the year. In March, there's a haunted convention in St. Louis that a lot of times we attend. And they go and get new ideas, talk to other haunt owners, go through seminars, things like that. And that's when we really start getting into the planning mid-January, February, and then we attend our seminars, and then we really get into it. And just as soon as, if there's nice weather in, late winter, we'll be out there. So
just working on stuff?
Every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're out building. Wow. And we do have a skeleton crew throughout the year. They're all volunteers. Maybe 3 to 4 people come out and help throughout the year.
Yeah.
Every weekend.
And they're out there every weekend just working on stuff.
And it's all volunteer.
So you guys are about to celebrate. You guys already celebrated 20 years, or are you about to celebrate?
This is our 20th season.
This is your 20th season.
This is our 20th season. Yes.
So
big milestone.
And you've been a part of it since the very beginning.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have kids?
I do.
Do you do?
I do.
Are they a part of it?
They've grown up out there. So yes. So they were in playpens in the ticket booth. Then I hired babysitters to come in, and we had a separate building for them. And then for a couple of years, they were at home with babysitters. And now they're old enough, 13 and 11, that my daughter is now a scare actor. And my son has done some scare acting as well. So my daughter really enjoys it. She looks forward to it every year. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yes. So,
man, I bet your dad loves this. I bet he really does.
It's
seeing you guys, and then his grandkids getting to enjoy it. And
it's really a family production.
Really
large scale family production,
community production, because I bet you a lot of people from Sperry come out and help. And
Owasso, Sperry, Tulsa, Broken Arrow.
Yeah,
we have people from all over the place. Bartlesville, we have a lot of people who drive down from Bartlesville, but we have probably 80 to 100 people that come out and help us when we're open. Like that's our cast and crew.
Yeah,
about 80 to 100, depending on the day, and it's a huge production. I will say this, because we were talking about not being huge fans of Halloween. Mm-hmm. What's funny is, so we're a Christian family. Okay. Yeah. So you would think like these must be some, maybe some darker people doing haunted attractions. We're a Christian family. So one thing that we've avoided is we don't do the devils with the horns. We have what's called a voodoo shack. No, we have what's called a voodoo shack. That's probably the most, I would say, evil thing that we do. But we don't promote a lot of the evil or satanic things that some of the other haunts will do. So that's kind of a difference. And I feel like sometimes that brings more families in because we don't have that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I was just thinking back, because I told you I didn't do any research. I did look at your website a little bit, and I didn't see anything like devilish or anything like that. Oh, that's super interesting. Right. That's super interesting. So going back so you're celebrating 20 years. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
What does it look like now from year 20 to year number 1? Like
it's evolved a lot. And, I was telling you earlier, we have a documentary that has been done. My cousin's a filmmaker. And so one of his first things that he thought is, this is a story.
Yeah.
I need to get out there. I need to pick up the camera and get out there and start recording my uncle who's doing all of this. So he brought a small crew from Los Angeles, and they stayed with my parents for several months while we were getting ready to open in 2005, and just recorded everything he could. He picked up over 300 hours probably.
So he recorded the very first one.
The very first year, yes. Oh. Yes. And then he came back 10 years later to do a follow-up. So it's, it's come a long way. We started with our dark ride. That's our signature attraction.
So that's the signature attraction, which you still have today, the dark ride. Okay.
We do. So essentially that is, it's a scarage ride, and our scarage is custom designed by our crew the very first year, before we opened. We had
and scarage is like a vehicle. Is that like
it's a vehicle of a type.
Okay.
And the biggest thing was my dad would go to other haunted attractions, and we would ride on hay rides and tractors. And so everybody would come out and ask, "Is it a hay ride?" It is not a hay ride. This is kind of one of our slogans. It's not a hay ride. It's kind of a throwback to the old Lover's Lane type of attraction. Mm-hmm. It's 2 per seat, and so it keeps the scare more intimate, and it's a quiet ride through the woods.
Okay.
It's very quiet. And so you can hear the leaves rustling and the twigs and the branches moving, and you can hear the animals moving in the forest, and it really builds that anticipation. And so it's a different kind of feel for a haunted attraction. There's really nothing like it that we know of in the United States that has this type of vehicle and this type of an attraction.
Yeah.
Because most haunted attractions are about the numbers, like how many people can we push through? We want to load it up and push them through, because it's money. And again, that's maybe why they don't make a profit, because they're not trying to pour, that many people through at one time. It limits us. And over the years, we started with a scarage that holds 6 people, and we had maybe 5 scarages. And
so you had a scarage on year 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we've evolved, and then we added extra seats, and it held 8 people. So we have 4 rows. And now we have 5 rows. So now we have room for 10 on our scarages.
Okay.
So that's come a long way. We've added attractions over the years, taken them away, just what works or just different things, what we do. And right now we have our Shadow Box. It's a walk-through haunted attraction.
Okay.
That's evolved over the years. And then our Dark Ride.
Okay. So
those are our 2 main attractions that
So what was probably, obviously the, what would you call that second attraction?
The Shadow Box.
So Shadow Box was probably your best thing that you've added, probably, since you guys kept it.
Yes.
What was probably your worst one?
Well, it's funny. We had what we called the Rage Cage, which a lot of people liked it, but it's a metal bar kind of maze that they walk through, and it was filled full of clowns, and a lot of people liked it, but it just was. I don't know. It just didn't give the effects that we wanted. Now, we did do a paintball one year, or maybe it was 2 years, called Quarantine. And they had the big Army 6x6 trucks, and guests would climb up, and it'd be on either side were paintball guns, and they would shoot the zombies out in the woods live. These are live actors dressing up to be shot at. And so they did that.
That's cool.
But it was just a lot of manpower,
very
a lot of
too.
very expensive. So that one we took away after a couple of years, and but we've heard some talk. It's been thrown around, paintball. So in some form or fashion, it may come back at some point. So that's kind of a thing. We used to have a coffin ride where guests would lay in a coffin. It would be closed, and there were sounds and smells inside, and it moved, and it felt like they had the experience of being buried alive.
Oh my gosh! So how many people would fit in just one person?
Just one person by themselves. Oh yeah.
And how long was that experience?
That only took about 2 or 3 minutes. So
gosh.
very, very short, but they get in it and lay in there, and they
did a lot of people do that?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Oh.
If you want to experience being buried alive, I guess that was their opportunity.
Man, I think of you ever heard of Mr. Beast, the YouTuber?
My daughter has. He's the candy bar, right? Is that the same guy?
Yeah. Feastables.
Yeah.
Well, he does this whole thing where he's like he gets buried alive for I think like 7 days or something like that. And I'm like,
okay, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm a little claustrophobic, so I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. So how does the design process work? So does your dad just like, hey, I got an idea, let's do it? Or
a lot of times, yeah. It's what he dreams up, and then we all make his dream come true. We worked to the best of our ability to make that happen. But I was going to mention that COVID changed our business a lot.
Yes.
So
Let's
a lot
talk
of,
about that.
in 2020, obviously a lot of businesses had to adapt and change. And, we worried, are we going to be able to open this year?
Right.
And in the past, we had talked about time ticketing. As our haunt became more popular over the years, our wait times would be 3 to 4 hours on a busy night. And I mean, we'd have somebody wait in line for 4 hours, go through, come off, say that was totally worth a 4-hour wait.
Right.
And so we thought, well, we're doing something right. But these wait times, we really strive for the 5-star Google reviews. And our biggest drawback were the wait times. And so 2020 really pushed us to reevaluate and think we need to do something different, control those crowds, not have everybody out at one time. And so we came up with our time ticketing, which we had talked about in the past, but logistically just never really made it work. And this time we were forced to do that. So we made it work. We turned to time ticketing, where our guests go online, they choose a time slot that they want to come out, and they purchase their tickets online.
Okay.
And it really helped control our crowds, how many people we allow through our ride during the evening, during a certain amount of time. And now our wait times have gone down drastically, where I believe our last year, maybe our busy night, an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's
so
really good, going
huge
from 4 to 1 hours.
Yes.
Man.
And still putting through over 1,000 people in a night.
So back in the day, people just come out and just buy a ticket, and then they would just wait in line. So now do they have to buy online? Or
Yes, really they have to, especially our busy nights. We do sell out a lot of those time slots. So we'll be all completely booked from 7:30 to 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So.
Dang. And then you guys are only open on
just Fridays and Saturdays. We used to be, back in the day, there would be weeks where we were open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Then we switched to maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But I will tell you that it's hard because we have a lot of younger actors come out. School nights are hard.
Oh, okay.
And so we just scaled it back to Friday and Saturdays only. Okay. We don't do Sundays because everybody goes to church.
Yeah, right.
So it's just, we just don't do Sundays.
Yeah.
No, we never have. And what's funny, and a lot of people are surprised by this, Halloween is not a busy night. Okay,
really?
Even if it's on a weekend, it's really not a busy night. Everybody's out Halloween parties, trick-or-treating with their children. And so even though like this year, Halloween is on a Thursday, we will not be open.
Okay.
We're open on Friday and Saturday. Now, if Halloween is on a Friday or Saturday, we will be open for Halloween.
Okay.
But other than that, a lot of people call us on Halloween. Are you open? Well, that's strange. It's a haunted attraction. You're not open on Halloween.
You're like,
Nope.
we've been doing this for 20 years.
We know how this works.
We know how this works.
Yes.
You will show up and you'll be the only one that shows up.
Yes.
So do you guys open after Halloween?
It depends on when it falls. This year, since it's on Thursday, we will be open Friday and Saturday.
And that'll be it.
And that's our last.
And
yes.
then that'll be it. Man. So when you guys did your first year, how many actors did you guys have?
Oh goodness!
And was it paid? Do you pay these people?
We did. We've changed over the years on how we set that all up. Our first year, gosh, maybe we had 30 to 40 actors. I mean, it was pretty small, and
because you guys just had the dark ride,
just the dark ride, right? And now, like I said, we're up to 80 to 100, depending on how many people are there and their schedules. And we have some actors come out the whole season. Some are there maybe just on Friday nights or just on Saturday nights. And we have to really work. And it's a lot of plugging in and scheduling when they can be there and where they're going to be. And I do a lot of that as well. So it's a lot of work.
Have you ever been an actor?
When we used to help at other haunted attractions, yes. Yeah.
You don't like it?
That's not for me.
Yeah.
That was the first thing. I'm not really going to do the acting part of it. I've done office work, been an administrative assistant for so long, and that was where my talents laid in that area. And so to run the ticket office was where I was best used. Right. And I enjoy it. I really do. I still get to work with the actors. I get to work with the public, and I get to do things like this. So my passion is small business. Yeah. So I love promoting small businesses. I love talking about small. Me too. Yes, I can tell. No, that's just what I do and what I love to do. So that's what I've known. Come from a family of small business owners, and so that's what I lean towards. And so marketing, I get into a little bit of it. It's changed so much because when we first started, we did, I guess you would call it like street marketing, street teaming is what we called it, where we had all the flyers and the coupons. Gosh, we were in, parking lots, putting them on people's windshield, right. But we were like, we got to do something. And my cousin's film crew came from California, would lay down their cameras and go out and help us street team and pass out coupons and hang posters.
But that was the way the market back in the day. It's not a bad thing. It's just like, that's what everybody did. You went to the, Walmart, Target, JCPenney parking lot, and just packed them out. I mean, it was.
We did that. We put a lot of coupons. We did coupons back in the day. We did a lot of those.
Didn't you do a coupon with Andolini's?
We did.
Yeah, I remember that.
We did.
I remember that.
We did a lot of. We've done some cross promotion. Yes.
Yeah, I love Mike.
Oh yeah, we love them, and so we do a lot of cross promoting with other businesses. We just went around throughout the community, gas stations, laid our coupons out. I mean, I would set about an hour perimeter around Tulsa and travel all over, and just go to all these gas stations and everything. And we would do radio and a lot of print ad back 20 years ago, and now everything's digital. Most things are digital, and so it's really changed.
What year do you think you guys changed the way you guys market? What would you say?
Honestly, I'd say in the last 5 years, maybe.
You went more digital.
Yeah. We, doing those YouTube commercials or just TikTok and Instagram and paying more in the meta ads and things like that. So yeah, it's changed a lot. We've really kind of gotten away from our radio ads that we used to do.
Yeah, they just don't do well.
I mean, nothing against radio. Yeah. I do listen to the radio, but everybody's on their...
I don't.
On their, they're streaming their music, or they have it downloaded on their phones, and it's through their car. And so it's not a lot going on with that right now. So a lot of it's digital. We still have our billboards.
Yeah, but I think billboards are good. I mean,
I think they're always good for those who maybe aren't online as much, but they're still driving.
I mean,
everybody's
driving. It keeps you top of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Are people going to call you or sign up because of a billboard? Probably not, but they'll keep you top of mind. So the next time they see it, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, Psychopath,"
right?
Or like, "Oh, Psychopath."
And then the last several years, since I am in the ticket office, one of my things I had started was, "How'd you hear about us?" You know, that's just one of my automatic questions is, how did you hear about us? I'm going to tell you that a lot of it is Google.
Really?
A lot of it's, I just
Google
looked you up on
search?
Google. Yep.
Yeah.
Google searched Haunted Attraction. So that's kind of where we.
And you popped up?
Oh yeah. After 20 years, you're on Google.
Yeah, right.
You're well known on Google. So
do you do like Google sponsored stuff?
We don't.
No. You just got enough content out there and enough built up.
And we always ask for reviews.
Reviews help out a lot. Yes. How many reviews do you have?
Ooh, I'm not sure right now. I haven't looked at it in a while. I maybe close to 200 or so. So not a lot. Our Facebook page has like 19,000 followers. So we have quite a few on Facebook and a lot of reviews on Facebook. So what's
the worst Google review you ever received in your life?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. We've had some actors out there that maybe said some things that were not nice to customers.
Oh, really?
And, you know, people will go in and say something about it. And of course we have to address that immediately.
Yeah.
And take care of that.
Right.
Our line waits back in the day,
80 to 100 employees.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that's going to happen.
Yes. And then back in the day when it was the long waits, those were kind of crushing at times. Like, wait a minute, you know, I was like, oh. And then I'm gonna mention, maybe we get some reviews that was not scary, you know.
Really?
And a lot of people come in and say, but you have to think about when a movie comes out, people do review it and say, well, I didn't really care for that, or that wasn't as funny as I thought it was, or that was not whatever they had in their mind it was going to be. And one big thing is I get asked so many times over the phone, through email, at the ticket office window, is this scary? And you have to realize that fear is relative to each different person. You know, you might be afraid of clowns, but I think they're cute and fun.
Right.
You know, I don't like...
Which, that's not true.
I don't...
I'm terrified. I'm terrified of clowns.
I like clowns. I don't like snakes, but other people keep them as pets.
I hate snakes.
So you know, to me, we've been out there long enough that I will see grown men come through and fall to the ground because they're scared, or wanting to punch our actors because they're so scared walking through there.
Has that ever happened?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I see women that will pee their pants. But then we'll see 12-year-old child go through like, oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever been to. And they're just as happy as can be going. So it's all, I always say fear is just what you perceive it to be. And so I can't tell you whether it's scary or not. That's all in what scares you.
What's the craziest story you ever seen or heard out there? Because you just said someone peed their pants. Like you see women pee their pants.
Okay, so I don't know what I can say on your...
Oh, you can say whatever you want. No. You can say, well, this is straight up. This is straight up. This is raw.
Okay. My husband we had a headless horseman scene. And my husband rode the horse back in the day. He's had women flash him. We've found undergarments thrown off.
Really?
It's like some strange things. My mother has had, she told me, she says, at the end of the night, this was a few years ago, I had a guest that came through and she asked me, is it okay if I spread some ashes out on your trail while I'm going through? My child, an adult child, I guess, whoever it was passed away, really loved coming here. And we wanted to spread some of their ashes along the trail. Now, that's kind of...
like...
That's an interesting one. I mean, that was a new one to me. And I thought,
like,
okay,
can you allow that? Like, is there certain like laws about?
No.
Did you let them do it?
I guess they did it. They just had a little bit, wasn't a lot, but they went through the ride and kind of.
So there are spirits out there.
There's spirits
out at Psychopath.
We've had now on the flip side, we've had engagements happen out there.
Wait, like someone proposed?
Oh yeah.
Oh, tell me.
Several times.
How's that work? Like, what was their game
So we've
plan?
had some guests approach us and let us know that this is what they're going to do, and we've taken them up on our stage, They've had a proposal in front of hundreds of people. And
so they do it at the very beginning of like the stage part. Does anybody
Right.
do it during the attraction?
Actually, that happened to me.
That's how you got proposed to?
This was an ex-boyfriend of mine. I didn't end up marrying him. Sweet man.
Did you say yeah? All right, tell me the story. Tell me the story. Let's go. Let's do this.
We were walking through the walk-on. We had dated. We had dated a long time. He lived in California. He was actually part of the original film crew that came out to film.
Is that how you guys met?
Yes. Through my cousin. And really nice guy. And we dated for a couple of years.
Uh-huh.
And since we had met out there, and that's like how we had met, was through Psychopath. I had no idea. And he came through. We walked through we have a walk-on trail to get under a ride. Uh-huh. And we got down about halfway and he stopped and got down on one knee and like pulled out a ring and like, what do I do? You know, I was put on the spot and
did you say yeah?
I said yes for like 24 hours.
Oh
That's
my
terrible.
gosh.
But I just, it didn't work out. But
yeah.
Reevaluating life.
After 24 hours and you said no.
I said I got to rethink this.
Did you guys break up after that, or
we did? But we've remained friends,
Yeah.
and he's come back out. And what's funny is he came out to help film, but then later he came out to help with our lighting and our set decorating, and he would come out each year for about a month or two because he's a freelance filmmaker.
Yeah.
And so he would come out and help us, and my kids would call him Uncle Shane, or so he was really nice.
Oh, so you guys still? I mean,
we're still friends.
Oh
Yes.
man, that's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Good.
We're all in good terms. So it was just a kind of a neat story.
Man, he took a shot.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, he did.
I mean, that's one thing. That's probably more scarier than the haunted house.
But I'm going to tell you, my husband that I'm married to now.
Did he do
We've
that?
known each other for a long time. But what's funny is we started dating during the haunted attraction. Like we had our first kiss there and everything. So.
Oh my gosh! So like, did you?
It's
did
like
you guys
I don't know
meet
what it
out
is.
there? Like,
no.
Oh, okay.
We met at church actually, but
Oh, okay.
it's just funny how it brings people together. We've had several actors meet, fall in love, and get married.
So you have some psychopath babies?
We do. We do.
You like that? Let's Alex here, zoom in on it. Alex, clip that. Let's clip that part right there.
It's
but really, you have some psychopath babies of like people that have met out there, have babies, and
Oh yeah. Yeah. A lot of people come out and they'll say we had our first date here. So it's again, throw back to that lover's lane. And I'm gonna tell you that our documentary really covers a lot of that, where Psychopath is really, when it boils down to it, it's a love story. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you.
You're gonna explain that to me.
Right? You're gonna haunted attractions, love story. Well, my dad I always say his love for the special effects, but my parents own this together. Mm-hmm. They have worked 20 years, blood, sweat, and tears, side by side. And my mom, even in the documentary, will say, I'll be out there till my last breath, helping him with whatever he needs me to do. And so it's so inspiring to watch them work together and everything they've been through, and seeing them go through and ride the scarage together and enjoying that together, that they've created. So to me, it is a love story. And then you have the lover's lane where it's two to a seat. And so, you have this, like I said, you have people like, this is a date night thing. Like we're going out here for a date. And I always push that. So I think it's beautiful. So.
Yeah, it might be something about that, like where you're something about like just you're able to maybe open up a little bit more because you're at a certain point of your emotions where you're fearful. Maybe that has.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, when you're scared, you're holding on to that person. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Last time, and maybe that is something, because I was trying to think about it driving in today when the last time I watched a scary movie, and it was in middle school. It was either the movie The Grudge or The Ring.
Oh gosh,
you remember those?
Yes. Oh yes,
dude.
Yes.
It was one of those movies where I said I'm done watching it. And
I've
the
both of those.
only reason why I went though was it was in middle school. Is that's where you took girls to like hold their hand and
definitely in a scary movie too.
Definitely in a scary movie.
Yeah.
Maybe get a little kiss on the cheek at the end of the night. But it was either The Ring or The Grudge. I was like, it's not worth it. It's not. I do not like this.
I'm not that invested.
I do not like this at all. So, have you worked with a lot of influence? Because you reached out to me. I mean, that's how we got all this set up. And she reached out to me and said, "Hey, we'd love for you to come out and check it out."
You know, over the years, we've had the news channel come out. We have Travis Meyer, who did the weather out with us one year.
Oh, Travis Meyer.
Yes, and we've had several news channels reach out to us and want to come out and do, on location filming.
Yeah.
And then actually, my cousin, who was part of our very first crew and helping get everything together, was like, there's this influencer in Tulsa. You should reach out to her. And he told us this last year. And I think he had reached out to her. And then I did this year. And you just had her on a podcast.
Yeah, Mary
Hathaway.
Yeah.
Yes. So sweet. But what's funny, she's like you. She's like, I don't do haunted attractions. I just don't really care for them. I get scared and I'm too scared to do these. But she agreed to come out and do that with us. And it's just been fun. And like I said, now it's reaching out to the influencers, the social media marketing
creators. Yep.
So that's kind of where we're heading towards.
I'll tell you what, and I even told Mary this because me and Mary are pretty good friends. She made that video. I reached out to her. I said, I think that might be your best video yet. I mean, she was very creative in the way she made that, and I was super proud of her. And
it turned out really great.
I watched it a couple of times.
Yeah.
She did a really, really good job. So
I think so.
So that's actually the reason why I said yes to it, because I like that kind of creative challenge of trying to get your message across. And so when I saw her video, like a week or a couple days later, you reached out to me, and I was like, I'm not a big haunted attraction guy, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
So
it's a human story, and people are interested in it because it's not something that everybody does. And it's like, well, who are these people? Why do they do this? And what is this all about? I mean, and people think it's easy. Like, I'm just going to go start a haunted attraction, because a lot of people do their backyard haunts. Yeah. And so they go through a haunted attraction and think, I could do this, which, yes, I mean, people can do it. But like I said, it is not for the faint of heart. Yeah. Over the years, I mean, I can't tell you how many credit cards we've maxed out. So, I mean, it is not, it's not cheap. Yeah. I will say it is. And it makes me, when people go to events, I mean, like, you might go to Six Flags or Silver Dollar City or Disneyland even, and your ticket's $100, $120, whatever it might be. And now I understand why. Right. So when I go to a play, in Tulsa even, at the Performing Arts Center, and I'm paying $80 for a ticket. And now I really don't complain so much about those ticket prices, because I know what's going on behind the scenes and how much it costs. Yeah. So it is not, live theater, I guess you could call it, is not cheap to do. So have you had any actors that started year one that are still with you today? Yes. Really? Yes. We have one of our main characters is Clicky Fingers, and a lot of people know Clicky Fingers. What does he dress up as? It's hard to describe his. Yeah. Sometimes he's like more of a clown type of character. Does it change a little bit every year? Sometimes he changes. But he's been there since day one. He's also in the film industry. He's in a lot of films. He was in the is it Killers of the Flower Moon? Oh, was he in there? He was one of the attorneys, I believe. Oh, so, cool. Yeah, he's done a lot of film. Yeah. So he's we really love him. He is. Okay, yes. Okay. Yeah, we really love him. He's a great guy. And Jeff Howard is his name. Jeff Howard. All right, I can say it. Yep. Shout out Jeff Howard. Like I said, our makeup artist, Elizabeth Bender Bay. She's which her name is Elizabeth Bay. She's a website. But she's done things all around the country. And she's been with you since the very beginning? She's been there quite maybe not since the beginning, but she's been there a long time. Yeah. One of our long haulers. But we do have, it's neat because we do have characters and actors that come back year after year. Mm-hmm. And it's neat to see because sometimes there'll be families that come out together and then they just keep coming out year after year after year, and their kids grow up really acting out there. So do some of these actors volunteer just because they love it, or throughout the year? Yes. Yeah. When we're open, we offer a stipend to our actors. Oh, okay. We also feed our actors dinner each night. Oh, nice. And then they get 4 free tickets for their family and friends to come through. So nice. They get some benefits. They also could put it down on their acting resume. They can put it down as a credit. But we don't pay an hourly wage just because of the nature of what it is. Right. And it's funny training our actors because I'm involved in that as well. We bring them in usually in August, September, we'll start
Yeah, that was
looking
actually my
for
next question. I'm
actors.
glad you're going to this.
We look for actors. We bring them in usually through the internet, Facebook, wherever we can. We have a lot of them apply, and then we do kind of a group interview with them, and then we call them back, and then we do a lot of paperwork. They're filling out pages and pages, and so we because you have to agreements, they're signing rules agreements and all these things. Yes, all kinds of things.
Our methods and our madness.
So we have a lot of that going on. And then we break out into our training sessions where we're going over the rules really in detail and kind of really going over safety. Number one is safety on our property. And we're out in the woods. Yeah. So there's a lot that we have to go over. Safety with our guests and how to deal with maybe a guest that's coming through that, you have to watch for the signs of have some of them come through that are belligerent. Maybe they're drunk and maybe they're wanting to cause problems. Maybe they're just happy drunks and they're having fun. How do you tell the difference between, are they going to cause problems or are they just going
Does
through
a lot of people come out there intoxicated?
Oh, yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. That's a big thing. We don't sell alcohol. We just never got the license for it. But they come out and we find 6-packs laying in the parking lot that they've thrown out their car.
Actually, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I used to drink quite a bit.
They want to go through, I guess not in their normal state of being.
Right. They want to have a good time. They want to loosen up. They want to loosen up.
So, we don't. They're coming out as long as they're not causing problems. It's not a big deal.
Right.
We want them to have fun.
Yeah.
Just not come out and destroy anything, obviously.
Right. And ruin the experience for anybody else.
Right. Yeah. So, but we train our actors how to keep, watch out for those types of things. We have security cameras around the property, a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And so we can watch for that. But a big thing is really training on, getting that scare and getting back, and getting that scare, not standing in their way for too long, and just really training them how to do that. So we go through a lot of that with them. And casting it's tough to cast in that short amount of time with such a huge crew.
Because you said you started this in August.
Usually around August. And I will say my father, sometimes he's a little hard to work with because he does change his mind. That's his prerogative. He's the creative mind behind it all, and if something's not working out, he will change it up. Mm-hmm. So that's a big thing too, is it's not a place for people to come who are I'm just set, if you tell me this is what I'm doing, well, this is what we're doing. That may change. So I always let them know, you may be cast in a certain spot, but don't get too comfortable because we may move you around to a different spot.
Right.
So that's kind of a big thing. And one of my biggest things with our actors is letting them know, if you've seen a play before, a play might have maybe 5 or 6 showings and they're done. So they do their act 5 or 6 times. Our actors are doing that act maybe 70, 80 times in one night.
Right.
So, and each group of people that comes through, maybe 8 people, that's a new audience. So they have to keep their energy going and give the same show to the first group of 8 as they do the last group of 8. And so we want them to really realize that it's very repetitive. So it is taxing. It's a lot of work to be an actor. Maybe that's why I don't want to do it, Jen.
Yeah, right.
That's a lot of work. But yeah, it's fun.
So they start practicing, or they start getting your acts together in August. Do you guys have dress rehearsals?
We do.
Your dad will drive through and be
No.
What?
We do that. We have some acting coaches that help us.
Okay.
But my dad usually disappears. He doesn't make his face known very well. No, he even when we're open, he kind of hides a little bit and
Yeah, because I was surprised. Because actually, I asked you for him to come on. And he's like, oh, he doesn't do that. Has he always been like that?
When we first started, he did a few things. Yeah. But he's just, over the years, he's too busy out building his sets, working, and he just doesn't, he don't want to do it.
Yeah. You want to do it? Well,
but he's, he
also brings a little mystery to him. Kind of like that.
It does. It really does. Because the actors, we even tell them, don't bother him. Don't go up to him. Don't ask him questions. You come to us, and we will relay whatever we need to him.
Oh, so he doesn't even he has a leadership team. Mm-hmm. So it's you,
my mother. We have makeup artists. We have some other managers out there that help us out. Actually, my brother is the manager of the shadow box. So he manages. He's been there for years, and he manages that and helps with the actors in there and gets them comfortable, and whatever issues come up, he deals with. And so,
do you ever bump heads with your dad about something?
Once in a while, we do.
Like, does your brother ever? Because he's over shadow box. Is he like? Does your dad ever come in and say like, "Hey, we need to change this"? And he's like, "Dude,
oh yeah,
no, dude, this is how we're doing it."
Yeah, there's some drama back in there.
Yeah,
there's some drama sometimes, and my mother and I work together very closely in the costuming. She does a lot of the costuming. Over the years, it's changed. We've had different costume. People in charge of costuming. And just over the last couple of years, her and I have teamed up and we've gone in there. And so my list of, job duties has grown.
Right.
And so I help her a lot with the actors, like I said, and the costuming. And then we have our separate makeup. So we have two different buildings. One is a costume department and the other one's the makeup department.
Okay.
And so our actors come out. Usually they come out maybe 2 to 3 hours before we open and they start getting ready. They'll eat their dinner and they'll visit. And then they're going in and getting their costume. They know which one's theirs. We label them with their name and their scene, and they go in. They get their costume. They'll clock in. We have a machine, so we know they were there each night.
Right.
And then they get their costuming, and then they jump over. And if they are getting a makeup application done, they'll go in and get their makeup applied. Some of them wear masks, so it just depends on what it is that we assign to them.
Yeah. And then so you said that one of the main characters is clickers?
Clicky fingers.
Clicky fingers. Is there any other big ones like people like, you know how like a show has like the lead.
Right.
Is there any leads in?
We do have, we have our I call him a ghost host, but his name is Mr. E, and he is our kind of our line entertainment for our dark ride, and he is over the big speaker. He plays some fun music for them and talks to the crowd and gets them excited to go through.
So that's a lead. Is there any other leads?
We have in our shadow box, Sarah. That's the character in the shadow box. It's all about her and how she was abandoned when she was a child, and her aunt and uncle took her in, and the shadow box is basically her nightmare. And so Sarah's one of our other main characters. So we do have some main characters. We have our butcher, and he's a pretty main character. I would say our pirates are pretty popular. So we have some.
Yeah, that's cool. So like on the story on the shadow box, does that change every year, or is it usually stay about the same?
Every few years or so? Yeah. It's changing. We used to have it be like it was like an insane asylum, or it was a funeral parlor, or whatever it might be. We've had some different background stories. It's funny because where we're located was the original town of Sperry was located on our property.
Oh, okay.
So Sperry is a small town, if a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah.
But the original post office was located on our property. And when the railroad came through where Sperry is now, and because it flooded so much out there, they went ahead and moved the town to where it is now.
Oh. So that's actually where the town used to be located, Sperry. Huh. Interesting.
So it's kind of neat. And we do have, over the years, a lot of our actors will tell us some stories of things they've seen on our property. So I don't know who believes in that kind of thing or not. Yeah. Some people believe that, yes, there are ghosts and we might be able to see them or things could happen. And some people are like, nah, that's explainable. My husband is like, but
do you believe in ghosts?
I do because of my faith. Because we believe in the Holy Ghost. Right. And so we have that, we believe in that kind of spirit. But I'm kind of still on the line, like on the fence about, are there really actually spirits? I don't know.
Do you believe in aliens?
Not really.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Who knows though?
Cassidy, you believe in aliens? You look like an alien believer to me.
Oh, there's a hot take if we go here. So
I might have to have him on the podcast. I feel like he's about to go on a
Are you an Art Bell type of person? I used to listen to Art Bell back in the day.
What's Art Bell?
Coast to Coast. You don't listen to I don't know.
What is that?
Coast to Coast used to air in Tulsa on AM.
Was it like one of those like sci-fi?
Oh, they talk about everything that's like aliens, ghosts, psychics, like anything that's in that realm.
You guys should have an alien scary thing out there.
Yeah.
What are some future things you guys are thinking about bringing in? You said something about paintball.
earlier. Paintball's been tossed around.
Man, I think that paintball zombie thing's so intriguing.
Yes, yeah, it was fun.
It's like Call of Duty zombies, but in real life. Yeah, but I bet you that was so expensive. How much did you guys charge for that? Because you got the CO2, you got the paintball guns. I
want to say it was $20 or $25.
That's not bad.
So,
I would pay that to shoot zombies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did they get? So did those zombies get paid more?
They did. They did.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say.
I mean, like you're getting shot at with paintballs. Right. You're gonna get paid a little bit more.
You're gonna get paid a little bit more. You get a little bit more of a stipend.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's but there's a lot involved in that, and they run 3 attractions, and then I think at the same time we had our Rage Cage maze, so it was like 4 attractions.
Oh, you used to have 4 attractions at one time?
We had 4 or 5 at one time. Like it was happening. So.
But you figured out probably 2 is probably the best way, or you just
yes, for now. Not saying that we wouldn't have something else back. Or something, that we come up with that could add a third. We've always talked about pumpkin patch or this or that, or how can we utilize this during the year?
Yeah.
So there's always talk of how, other things we can do. We do. We have a concession stand.
Okay.
He does kettle corn and burgers and hot dogs and things like that. So
okay.
And then we've had T-shirts that we sell.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
we've done different things in the past. Yeah.
Huh.
So our
I was about to say food. If they're waiting an hour out there, that's probably a way to bring in some more.
Yes, and we usually we tell our guests to eat after they're done because it could be a quick line. Like sometimes they walk up and they're only in line for 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how quickly we're moving.
Oh, you do it for? I thought it was more of a standpoint of it might throw up.
No. We just let them know, we don't want you to go over there and buy. I mean, look, we're honest with them. Like you can go over there and buy food, but then it's going to be time to get on this carriage in maybe 10 minutes. We don't want you to throw your food away that you just paid for. So don't waste your money on the food until, afterwards and then buy your food and sit down and enjoy it and eat,
Yeah.
So that's kind of, we used to sell VIP tickets when we were so busy.
Oh, what's VIP?
So we used to do when we had those 3 and 4 hour waits, they could pay more and bump up to the front of the line. Skip the long line. We don't have to do that anymore.
With the online tickets.
Yeah. So you would think wouldn't a business want to have those higher priced tickets? Like you guys are not helping yourselves.
I mean, if you're looking to make a profit, but
we would rather have the shorter wait time and not have to sell those. Yeah. So it's just, we want to, our biggest thing is really customer service. We want to make our guests happy and we want to make them, we want them to come back. It's neat because we have people who come every year. It's tradition now after 20 years. They come every year. Their children have grown up coming out there. We also have them come from all over Oklahoma and even from Kansas and Missouri and all, outside of Oklahoma. What's the
farthest that you ever heard?
I'm Europe.
Europe?
We've had a lot come from overseas.
Wow.
India, I believe. We've had several come through that. It's always fun when we see the group of where are you guys from? And they're here for, it might be a sports event that they traveled for or a college that they're, maybe they're here for college.
Yeah.
So it's always fun when we have them come through and we're like, here, take some t-shirts back to your country. Spread it around the world. So we had some families come through and they'll say, we plan our family vacation to come to Oklahoma during October so that we can come to Psychopath.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's such a compliment,
right?
A huge compliment.
Yeah.
And so we just love our guests. We love them coming through, and it's fun when we can scare them. But my big thing is them coming off and saying, that was amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Mm-hmm. It's unique. Because you can go to a haunted attraction anywhere, and a lot of them are walkthroughs, and you do have some ride throughs, but just what we're doing is a lot different from anybody else.
Yeah.
So,
man. So what's we talked about the paint. So paintball might be coming back.
Maybe in a way.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh gosh, I just went blank there. What I was going to ask you. Dang it, that happens sometimes.
It's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Is your dad's goal to be the most scariest or the best haunted attraction? Is that his goal?
We want it to be scary, obviously. That's
has anybody said it's too scary?
Oh, yes. We've had people come out, I can't do this. And we've had them get about halfway through the shadow box, and we've had to get them out and exit because they couldn't go through. We've had them come up. I'm going to tell you, the drive out sets the mood because it is creepy just driving out to the property. You have to cross 1-lane bridge no matter which way you get there. So it's pretty creepy coming out and then driving through there. They'll say, oh man, I'm already scared. Like they're walking up to the ticket booth and they're terrified and they're shaking and like, okay, you can make it through this. And we've had people back out, not even go through.
Yeah.
And so, but then we see all ages come out to, I'm serious, lap held babies and like babies to in their 80s. Like it's all ages,
Really?
Which is something that I love about what we're doing.
So you're okay with the 6-year-old coming out? It's kind
yes.
of like viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, we always just tell them it's up to the parents.
Yep.
One of our big things that people ask is, do they touch us? And we have a rule of you don't touch us, we don't touch you.
Okay.
Now, you may have a prop or something may brush against you, but we are not going to intentionally grab you.
Right.
That's not something that's been since day one.
Yeah.
We just don't do that. And so I think maybe that helps people and maybe brings out more families that are maybe a little more hesitant in going to an attraction. Are you allowed to touch in the haunt?
Is there like a law or rule?
No.
So that's okay.
If you look it up, there's an attraction, I'm not sure where it is, where people have to sign a huge like 100-page waiver or something like this, where their whole purpose is really just to scare you and they will torture you. Like they can grab you and do all kinds of things. And I'm like, that's the real, and that's intense. Yeah. It's very intense, extreme haunt. Now they have other haunts who will just reach out and grab a leg or grab an arm or, or brush against them or whatever it might be. They're not going to like really grab onto them.
Your
but we
rule
don't.
is,
Yeah, we
you
don't.
don't touch us. We don't touch. Yeah,
yep.
we don't touch you.
And I think because we're more of that traditional type of haunted attraction scare, we have the traditional scares that you'd find at maybe the old type of haunts. People enjoy that, and it's kind of a production more than it is, especially the dark ride. More of a production than it is like in your face, like scary. When people come out and they ask which one should I do, which one's scarier, I would send them towards like the shadow box.
That's scarier
because they're walking through.
Okay.
To me, that's a scarier element is walking through and not knowing like I'm going to turn this corner and you're more up close and impersonal, in person with our actors and scarers.
And the shadow box is the one with the big kid that, what did you say? What was the backstory on that?
Oh, Sarah.
Sarah,
yes.
Okay. Sarah's
nightmare.
Sarah's nightmare. Okay.
Yeah.
That's shadow box.
So that's where we are there. I really feel like that one's probably the scary one. So if they have little kids, I'm like, maybe try the dark ride first. And if they do okay, maybe you could try the shadow box.
Okay.
So.
And how long is the shadow box? How long does that take?
That one's about 15 minutes.
15 minutes for the whole attraction. And then the
dark ride is about 20 minutes. It's actually a mile-long trail out in the woods.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long ways.
It is. We have a walk-on, and then they load under the carriage, and they take that mile-long journey, and then they walk off through an exit tunnel. It takes about 20 minutes to do the whole entire
takes 20 minutes.
Journey.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And our slogan is this: it may be your only way home.
Yeah.
You have to ride that carriage because it's your only way home.
Thanks. All right. So I'm real excited about it because this Saturday I'm going to come out. You're going to let me do a little vlog out there and then also do a little thing. So my goal is to get this posted, this podcast, but also simultaneously, maybe the day before, post that vlog. So if you're interested in the vlog, if you're watching on YouTube, you can click that link right up there, somewhere up there. It'll be posted. So you can go watch that vlog. And then also in the vlog, I'll say they can come back and watch this podcast.
And if I can, I will try to get permission that you can share the Psychopath documentary. That may be a thing.
Oh, yeah. That'd be really cool.
We'll see.
Yeah, because you said it's not posted on YouTube right now, is it?
It's not. I don't believe so.
I think that'd be really cool.
I'll ask him. I know it's been shown publicly, so,
Yeah. Well, if he uploads it to YouTube and they, it's there. If you go down in the description, go to the hyperlink, and you can go watch that documentary, which is really, really cool.
It really shows the first year and all the struggles, and you really get to know the people. And my dad's in it, so you can see the mystery man.
You can see the mystery man. Yes. So we're about to log off here. Is there anything that I didn't touch on that you wanted to talk about?
That's a good question. I was kind of going over my head. We covered a lot. for sure. I
Yeah.
feel like we really covered
I know,
a
and that's
lot.
the thing is like I normally don't give people questions because sometimes we just don't get to all of them.
Right,
But
right.
I kind of just go with more of a conversation style.
Yes.
So, but where can people find you? Where can people,
So on our website, psychopathhaunt.com, PsychopathHaunt, psychopathhaunt.com. And you can buy your tickets there. Feel free to call. I answer the phone usually. So
Hey.
I'm everywhere. So, and you can go to our Facebook page to find out more. Go like us on Facebook. We have Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you tag, share it with your friends. We will probably be doing a giveaway at some point during the season. So keep an eye out for that.
Nice.
And this weekend we are doing a huge discount. It's $20 off.
Oh, this podcast probably won't come out this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
So never mind. Just
Darn.
kidding. Dang it. Dang it. It's probably going to be because today's Thursday. It'll come out the following week. That's my goal.
Yeah.
If Alex gets it together, Alex, you're going to be watching this. Get it done. That's my editor.
On top of that.
Yeah. And then also he's the one be coming out with me on the vlog. So
Okay,
he'll actually he'll be his first appearance on one of my vlogs.
Wow. We'll be at Channel 6 in the morning.
Wait, are they gonna be out there Saturday? Channel 6?
No, just in the morning we're going to the studio. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you bringing a couple actors with you?
We are.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'll be fun.
Good deal. All right. Well, hey, make sure you go check them out. Psychopath.com.
Psychopathhaunt.com.
Psychopathhaunt.com. They're only open on.
We're open Fridays and Saturdays in October, and then we'll be open the first Friday and Saturday in November.
Nice.
And that's lights out. So our shadow box, you go through with a flashlight with the lights out, and we control the flashlight.
Whoa, you control the flashlight?
Yes.
Oh, snap.
yes.
I'm already getting scared.
Only
of this.
November 1st and 2nd for the lights out.
Okay.
So,
okay, that's only for November 1st.
And they can buy those tickets separately. So if they've gone through once this season and they want to come back out and experience lights out, they can go online and buy those tickets by themselves.
Do you guys sell out nights?
We do.
Okay, so make sure you go
Make
early.
sure, get your tickets online so that we don't sell out. Because you could probably still come through, but you may have to wait 2 or 3 hours till we have a time slot open up.
Dang. All right, here's my last question and then we'll end. How many people do you guys get a year?
Oh, it varies. It varies. I mean,
Do you guys have an average? I mean, you guys got the number. I mean, what's the average?
Maybe 700-800 a night,
Okay.
depending on the time. I mean, first weekend's usually the slowest. It's hot still.
So you're
People aren't
talking
into
you're
it yet.
talking thousands and thousands of people
yes,
you guys
yes,
get out there.
Yes.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. Okay. All right, well, go
fun.
check out Psychopath. Victoria, thank you
Yes,
so much
thank
for
you
coming
for
on.
having me.
No, I'm
been
looking
fun.
forward to it. And also, look out for that vlog. Thanks, Victoria.
Thank you.